But another thing is, and that I mentioned in the sermon, God does not hear the prayers of the unrighteous.
You did mention that. That's something I think is going to be so such a triggering thing for people to hear, because we don't talk about God and his sovereignty and who he truly is. And we talk a lot about God as love. We talk a lot about how he's forgiving and all of those attributes that give us room for error, right? And God gives us room for error, right? That's the whole point of repentance. That's the whole point of forgiveness. But God is also sovereign. He's also just. He's also righteous. He's also a judge, right? And so I think that we do ourselves as believers and other people who are investigating the claims of Christ, right, a disservice to make them believe that God doesn't care about what we're doing, how we're behaving, how we represent him. And we act like it is not going to like there is not going to come a time where he will judge what we did and didn't do, what we did and didn't say, how we did or didn't represent him. And I think that is just such it's a faux pas on the part of believers, right? To go through the earth like this. And I think that it's partially why people don't necessarily take Christianity seriously anymore, because if y'all believers, Christians, are acting so wild, so crazy, you can't get your own house together. Some of y'all believe this, some of y'all believe that. We bicker with one another online. We bicker with unbelievers online, in the church. How can we expect a person to want to come into that? How can we expect them to not see chaos, confusion, and the same thing that we're telling them to come out from?
Right.
So...
I mean, that'll preach in itself. We have to realize, I think it's important for us to realize that the Christian church, we are hypocrites. We live in a cesspool of hypocrisy. And I think when we begin to realize, the same way we realized that we was wretches.
Before we came.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
But we still getting cleaned up. We need to let that get about us, Yeah,
there's a Psalm 126. I actually preached it here at the church about a year ago. But that's in that psalm, it's a beautiful psalm. You got to say it's a beautiful psalm when you talk about the psalm. But it's a beautiful psalm.